All right. I want to welcome everybody to the Two Dudes podcast. Man, it's cold outside, Kev.
I ain't been out there yet. I ain't looking forward to going out there. I take my daughter to a dental appointment in about 3 hours. Not looking forward to it.
Uh, it's brutal. Um, so I'm Rick. That's Kevin. We're bringing it to you again. And speaking of the weather, I don't know what it's like over there for y'all, but sometime around noon, it's supposed to start snowing here, and it's not supposed to stop until 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Uh,
So,
we we just got like a high 47, 50. We don't have any snow in the forecast.
47, y'all gonna be wearing y'all Hawaiian shirts then.
I love Andy, but I don't love him enough to wear a Hawaiian shirt. You
By
know
the
what I'm
way,
talking
shameless self promotion for one of our favorite shows, SAPI, does start this week. New episode on the 4th.
about. Yes, Guadalupe PI. Yes, Puerto Rican PI. We don't know what the fuck he is. He's just PI.
But it's a good, fun show. All
Yeah.
right. So, Kev, here's how you know how we always get started. I want to see what's going on with you and everything, how the job situation's going. But in addition to that, I know your part-time gig. I know they broke your heart and they said hell no to Samsung. Tell us how you feel about that iPhone.
iPhone is trash. Like that chick that you thought you was gonna kick it with, but it really was just an extended one night stand. It's trash. Nothing more, nothing less. Trash.
Wow.
Now, as far as everything else, this was crazy. Lady last week showed love with, from a place, and let me know the job I applied for. They had filled them all. Then why keep coming up? You know what I'm saying? I hate that. So she listed 3 jobs they was hiring for. Realized I've done that in several different ways when we was at the queue. So I
Yeah.
responded to it, did the little app or whatever. Got an turn out I got an interview this Thursday. Thank God. Talking to BG and CV, they I couldn't remember the program, so we used all the time. So I need to ask CV, BG, and you. But BG gave me the rundown on all of them. So I was like, okay, cool. I should have been done did. I don't know why I didn't. And hella people left from the queue to there. And I didn't even realize that. Like Kelly Mulvaney or whatever, she's a fucking director over there.
Wow.
She's a director over the position I'm trying to get. And I'm like, at the queue, you was just top assistant to all the doc. I was like, that's just crazy. That's one thing I hate though in the job market. The terminology they use for these positions don't match up to what you know from where you came from. They try to make something more of an upper epsilon when all in actuality it's what you did when you where you was. They just wanted to sound more extensive because they're gonna pay you probably a little bit more, which is just real asinine in my opinion. But
Hey, side note, real quick. Sometime today, shoot me a text with the name of that position, and I will send a message to Kelly. She's on.
are
She's
you
part of.
still talk to her?
What'd you say?
You still talk to her?
No, I haven't talked to her in a good while, but she's on my LinkedIn. So, I might just pass a good word down there for you and let her
Appreciate the
know.
love. Yeah, because she's on mine, and BG was like, talk to her, but I was like, I don't want to talk to her that I'm interviewing tomorrow. That I don't want to feel like I'm using her. But if it comes
Right.
from an outside person, ha
I
yeah,
got you. I got you.
I'll definitely do that. Outside of that, everything's been cool. A little disturbed right now though. So I was on Spotify, and they told me for this year, my numbers is down. I only listen to 27,000 minutes of hip hop, and my number one song was "Music So Beautiful."
Wait, so first of all, what the hell is music so beautiful?
His girl, don't you know you so beautiful? You heard the
Oh,
song? Yeah.
that bullshit? You listen to that much?
Apparently, I listened to it 16 times this year.
And
It's
the
like,
reason why I'm asking is because I got the same email from Spotify. I
mm-hmm.
have not opened it up, but my God, you're on it way more than me.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
So
It says that I listened to it 432 times,
yeah, my
drastically smaller than yours.
27,151 minutes listened, and my top genre was hip hop. My top artist, Rick Ross. Anderson .Paak, Jay-Z, Isley Brothers, and Monica. But the thing is, a lot of them all repeat the same uh, group of music that I may have been on. And I think that kind of keeps it going. Cause like I was hooked on a music Anthony Hamilton combo, so I'm surprised no Anthony Hamilton song is listed. Cause I was stuck on that for a minute. Then with like the Isley Brothers, I literally found a Mr. Big Isley Brothers station that played all the songs where Ron Isley was Mr. Big. You can't say they wasn't big because they was. And I'm in the kitchen grooving. The girls is like, "What? Who's Mr. Big? You don't even know about all that. I don't want you to live that life." And it's like they said, my top song is "Music So Beautiful," Lloyd's "You," Drew Hill's "Beauty," then Rick Ross's "Aston Martin," and Jodeci's "Fiendin'." Don't none of that shit go together to be my top song and everything. But I did a lot of like I said, I did a lot of like best of 2000, best of the 90s type stuff or whatever. So I was a little thrown off by that. But at the same time, I was a little Carl Thomas. I was a little emotional for a good part of this year and last year. So understandably.
Very, very understandable.
Yeah, so
All
next year
right.
it's gonna be all hardcore, kill them, shoot them, cut them up, fuck you, kiss my ass. Ain't gonna be nothing R&B on there. It's gonna be all just gutter, underground, niggas saying wild shit to get record deals, hip hop.
Just so that you can get a different Spotify email.
Damn right.
Okay.
They be like, nigga, you need therapy. You sick.
They might send that to you too.
Exactly.
Kevin, what's wrong? Your playlist changed.
Like the past couple years, you've been kind of even kill. This year, you're just kill.
All right, so check it out. Let's start off with college football today. One topic. There's a female now playing college football, but upon further review, there's a flag on the play. Tell us about that.
Okay. Sarah Fuller, I believe is her name, at Iowa, played on the soccer team. Now, the heifer looked like a giant. Looked like Andre the Giant, like a motherfucker. She looked so big. Helped Iowa win a trophy in soccer. They just wanted either the crown turn. They won something. And they said the coach had been keeping tabs on her. I guess Iowa's kickers had been getting sick or somewhere he had to keep tabs for extra players. I'm like, here we go trying to make a story out of nothing. So that being said, COVID hit. Hey, you think you can play blah, blah, blah? Sure. I'm thinking Iowa's a better team than what they was. Yeah, I was wrong. Because MU beat them like they stole something. And all she did was a squid kick on a kickoff, and that was it. But that was enough to get her in the record books. Me personally, I need you to kick an extra point field goal or something to get in the record books. A kickoff, we could have had anybody do that. So you ain't did nothing spectacular. But, if I was, people say I'm hating on women, I shouldn't be hating to have daughters, but I need you to really accomplish something. What did you really accomplish? Nothing but a couple articles. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I'm not anyone who would hate on a woman. I appreciate all our women, but can you clothesline somebody out there, score a touchdown, make a hit, something? I mean,
You know what will solidify it and made it legit? Regardless of everything, you'd have been like, she's on our roster from here on out, long as she wanted to be. You'd have did that, okay? I can, I'm on board. You didn't, so
yeah, but the problem with college football, it's a money thing. They can't keep her scholarship on the team if they're holding the other kickers on there. Somebody would have to get cut or redshirted, depending on where they're at.
But the
But
thing is, though, I'm pretty sure she probably got a scholarship from soccer. Segue that over. Give her a partial. Give her partial football, partial soccer that covers her schooling. I'm pretty sure that could be done.
yeah. Now the other thing though is if she's going to stay on the team, I would hope that she can outkick the competition. I don't want to see a woman on a team, whether it be pro or college, if they're not as good as the people that are getting cut. And that makes a difference too.
I need you to win a kid. That's what I'm saying. Say she's on the roster, but she got to prove it. Next off season, hey, you and old boy, y'all battling for the who stays on. Then I'm gonna buy into it, but don't make this big up do for a filler. Hell, we got seat pillars and everything. You don't need a big to do about that.
Right. All right. So, we had a boxing match or two this past weekend. Everybody was hyped over Jones and Tyson. It didn't turn out to be much of anything. But to our surprise, Nate Robinson got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, and you see it's starting to get mixed reviews now. Excuse me. You got people, poor Nate. You got people laughing at Nate. My take on it is this. I remember when all this went down, and it was like John Paul, Luke Paul, whatever his name is. He wanted to do the opening, be the open card or whatever before the fight. And Nate Robinson, let me get a piece. Let me get a piece. I'm gonna knock him out. You ain't boxed or did anything in the ring. This dude's boxing before he knows boxing. You can
Right.
see he knew boxing. Nate, unless you training with Ali, Tyson, and Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard all at the same time from that moment to the fight, you was gonna lose regardless. It just sadly, you fight like I play fight night. I don't do no defense. I'm just coming at you. And usually what happens to me is what happened to him. You went face first to the mat and you was just hemorrhaging and that was it. You was done. That's all it really is. But now this damn fool Luke Paul or Paul James, Paul Ryan, whatever the fucking name is, talking about he want to fight Conor McGregor. You beat up an NBA player that, hey, all props. Nate killed it in football in college, killed it in basketball. He's in track and high school. He's all around athlete. People still forget boxing is more than just getting your feet set. It is a technique. It is a two-step. He can't two-step in the ring.
Here's my take on it though. All right. Instantly, Nate became a meme, right?
Yeah.
All right. So whatever this dude's name is, Luke Paul, he's gonna become a meme before the fight because Conor McGregor is gonna say Luke Paul, Luke Skywalker, Paul Abdul, it don't matter. Bring them all to the ring. And that's what's gonna happen. Then he's gonna get knocked the fuck out.
And that's another thing. With if you fight McGregor, he's gonna want it to be kickboxing, not straight up boxing.
I think he's willing to straight up box because he got a taste for it when he fought. And I figured if he fights a lesser opponent, he will look much better. Because he didn't look bad the first time.
It's gonna be a repeat of what we saw. But I hate to admit it, it's gonna be a repeat of what we saw. I think that's truly what's about to happen.
That's true. All right, let's talk some NFL for a few minutes. We're not going to mention the Raiders game because the Raiders didn't show up for that game, so why should we talk about it? I'm still trying to get over the pain. Y'all had me on suicide watch. Your Chiefs almost blew that for me too, so I'm gonna need them to put somebody away pretty soon before that catches up to them.
The Chiefs game was, I'll just put it to you like this. We went up 21 easy, we put it in neutral. Because Andy knows he can start and go. We like a stick shift. When we flowing, you can't touch us. But at the same time, we know couple jerks, we back flowing.
Bro, y'all didn't put it up easy. Tyreek Hill put it up easy.
Who does Tyreek play for?
He plays for the Chiefs, but he did all the work.
Who threw Tyreek the ball?
Some dude that eats ketchup on his steak.
Who did the play calling?
Some dude that looks like the Kool-Aid man.
All these guys wear Chief uniforms, so therefore the Chiefs got up on them easy. And the sad part about it, we could have kept doing that all game because they never corrected it.
That's true.
Hell, we kept doing that. Tyreek would be on IVA research right now, just tired. Legs just been unfailed out. And another thing, the game shouldn't have been close. Meacham dropped a touchdown pass. That pass hit him in the hands. He called that. He took the house 80 yards untouched. So it's like that. And then that's when the officials turned into, oh my God, you look wrong. Flag on Kansas City. You breathed on him. Flag on Kansas City.
I'm gonna get to the refs in a second. But another place y'all messing up on, the defense is starting to wear down. There's no reason that Ronald Jones should have had that run that he did. Nobody touched him. Why is that?
I can't say that because Ronald Jones has been doing that all season.
No, he hasn't. I have him on my fantasy league. Trust me, he
Seen
hasn't.
the game after that heartbreaking loss you took. What did he do? He got like a
2.
90-something yard touchdown run. He's
Yeah,
done it a couple times this season. I've seen it. So it really wasn't a surprise to me. But all at the same time, people, what they're doing is smart. Whatever side Frank Clark is on, we're running to the opposite side because Taco Charlton's not there. And no
true.
one has stepped up to fill that void. That's where I kind of wish we would have got Clowney because Clowney would have sealed that off. But if you look, Clowney's out hurt, would have been the same situation. Defense did what they're supposed to do. We still really ain't got to the quarterback. But at the same time, if these officials don't start using their eyes and calling these holding penalties, it's going to be the same thing every time. Between the lack of the holding penalties and us getting called for BS penalties, they gonna keep people in the game. We had that game won easy. Then all of a sudden it's like they got that call. Hey, don't forget Tom in this game. Make it look decent. Then Romo got on this whole, this guy like a bad the torch, but I don't think Tom's ready to give the torch up. What the fuck are you talking about? We winning. Then boom, score. Boom, score. Like the second touchdown Evans got, the linebacker knew if the safety stayed right here, you need to roll out with him. That was just ignorance on his part. Or if you don't chuck him or let the safety catch up with him, you know, that was just simple, just a brain fart right there to where he worried about everything else. Behind him, there's nothing behind you. Brady's not floating anything anymore. Brady, he's done.
Yeah, now I want to talk about what you touched on a few minutes ago, the refs. And I know the AFC has some different refs than the NFC, and both of our teams played in NFC stadiums this past weekend. There was some BS calls in both
Yeah.
games. I don't know how much of the Raider game you saw, but I saw Josh Jacobs plant a DB in the air on his behind and run for the first down, just like I've seen any other running back do. They called a penalty on Josh Jacobs because he led with the helmet. What's a running back supposed to do?
That's just like, I don't know if it was Hilaire or Bell. No, it was Robinson. If I'm on offense and I catch the ball, I'm allowed to stiff arm. You're calling us for a personal foul, illegal use of the hands. Are we not allowed to stiff arm someone when we
That's
catch it?
Derrick Henry's whole playbook right there.
I guess he can do it, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just, it needs to be fixed. It's just, you get told when you're winners, everybody's giving you their A game. I agree with that. While I've seen more A and B games, I've seen it play against the Chiefs since Dick Vermeil when he had that offense going. But these officials been on like A++ game with the bullshit flags. And it just, I don't know what we did to the officials. I don't believe in Super Bowl we disrespected anybody, but it's just like, let's make them jump through this hoop that much more or whatever. Then like yesterday, Skip was saying how Tariq had to turn around to catch that pass from Mahomes and then take it in. There's no way that should have been the play of the week. It's the play of the week because the man was running, saw that he had outran the pass, which is phenomenal, had to turn around, caught it this side, then turned around and ran, and the corner never once was able to grab him. That's why it's the play of the week.
To me, that's more skill than a regularly thrown ball.
Skip was like, he didn't understand it. It didn't make no sense to him. Skip was throwing everything under the sun to discredit Mahomes and what happened because Brady lost. Even though they said Brady's having a better year now than he had this time last year, minus the interception.
I was going to bring that up because they had a stat in that game. Every quarterback that has played for Bruce Arians has put in a record number of interceptions over their previous seasons. Brady's headed in that direction. What does that tell you about Bruce Arians?
He wants them to let it fly.
Yeah, but if you're not calling the right plays, and it comes down to, and this is where I give Kansas City all the credit, Andy will call plays that his players can do. You can't ask your players to do something that they're not capable of.
Yeah.
And I think Brady's trying to run this offense like the New England Patriots. This ain't the Patriots.
And
He's gonna have to get with it.
this goes back to say what I've said years ago. When Peyton left and went to Denver, I told y'all, you about to see who's the better quarterback, Peyton or Brady. What did Peyton go to Denver? Took control of it, made it his offense, but still what Denver wanted to run. Brady's been in Tampa. He's still trying to find New England. It's not in his skill set to do something like that, and he's struggling. He missed, and it lets you know how big Wes Welker was, how big Julian Edelman was, how big the other little dude was. All his little dump off receivers, Aaron Hernandez, Grunt, when he would do dump off the Grunt. This shows you how big they were for him and how big they was for Randy when they had that record season for the Yards.
Don't forget Julian Edelman.
I said Julian.
Oh, okay. All right, so check it out. You know how at the beginning of the season we said who's going to be better, New England or Tampa? Because one still has Belichick, one has Brady. Looks like neither one of these teams might make the playoffs. And if they do, it's going to be an early exit.
I think Belichick is so focused on not having a losing season, he has yet to really do an offense with Cam. Cam had 84 yards with 2 interceptions. But at the same time, though, the one interception Cam threw, he dropped back, threw the hell out of that ball. The receiver just had the receiver watched it go to the corner. They have the worst skilled receivers in the league right now, probably. The Jets probably have better receivers.
But again, that's about your personnel. This personnel's they're not equipped to play long ball because they played so many years with Brady. Throw to the tight end, short screen pass to your receivers. They don't know nothing about the long ball in New England.
So as much as I hate to say it, but they about to make Cam that goat that gets escaped. It's like Cam's in the panic room and he don't know how to get out.
Yeah.
I give it to him though. He's saying all the right things. He's taking it on the chin. He's saying all the right things.
I believe he's using this season as an audition for another team.
He really can't because there's no tape. All he's showing is he can run. He can run and take hits. I don't even like that he done slimmed down. I want to put back on 10 pounds.
Yeah, he might need to. All right, so check it out. The Lions finally fired their coach and their GM.
All damn time.
It is, but it isn't. Because what do I always say when somebody gets fired? Do you have somebody that you already got to replace them? If you don't, you're wasting time. And I guarantee you, we're going to be talking about this next year, same old Lions. It don't matter who they get. There's nobody out there that's going to be any better. You're going to have to revamp that personnel. It's about the players. You got Matt Stafford. Everybody raves about him there, but what has he really done?
Here's the thing. I disagree with you because Caldwell had them boys going, and they was 8-8 when he got let go. They was 500 team when he got let go. Having the best season they had in years. I think there's about he had them going. Basically, he just had them going.
Oh, I agree with you.
He was about to change the culture, but since Detroit is one of those legacy teams, then you affiliate them with the Motor City and Ford and all that. Do you really think they was ready for a black man to get that credit?
Probably not.
Exactly. Think about the last white hero they had was Larry Brown when he won with the Pistons. And before that, it was Chuck Daly. And after Larry, between them, I think the Tigers won, but it was with white coaches. Think they were ready for a black man to turn around a white team? That wasn't about to happen. Stafford, legit good quarterback, but all he's had to throw to was Megatron. All his B receivers have been trash. Much as I like old boy on Good Morning Wake Up on NFL Network and be on CBS, which for some reason his name leaves in my head right now. Much as I love him.
You talking about Nate?
Yeah. Much as I love Nate. Love him to death. Dress is nice, braids and everything be nice. Shoe game is nice. He was an average receiver that made money he shouldn't have made. Just being truthful. When you get in the wreck and injure yourself because you're trying to grab a pizza while you driving. You can't wait till you get home, or you didn't get the Bentley that feeds you. What the hell's wrong with you? But nah, it's just Megatron never had nobody that was comparable to him, receiver or tight end. But then they running backs could never stay healthy. And when they finally, then in Miami, both had Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush dogged it both for them. When it came time to pay, oh, we can't see paying you. Go on. You had what you wanted, but you didn't want to pay what you had.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem with a lot of these teams. I don't give a fuck who it is. If they do what you need, hey, let's figure this out. Let's make this happen and go from there. That's all you got to do. But Detroit, they'll be all right at some point. They just need to find a coach that knows what they're doing and keep it going. It's like I told you, the whole legacy in the NFL is dying a slow death. They need to just go and kick that tree over. Because clearly, Belichick tree doesn't work. Andy's tree, yeah, Peterson got a ring. That was off Andy's team. Even though Andy had been gone, Chip Kelly really didn't do nothing to change that team around. That was still Andy's players that got that ring. You came and fixed it up, ran Andy's offense because it's still his players. You got a ring. What have you done since then?
Well, Andy comes from a better tree than
That's what I'm saying.
Belichick.
Then, Nagy in Chicago, he's probably about to get fired because he's done nothing. He thought Trubisky was better than Watson and Mahomes. Nothing.
Yeah, I think if Nagy had a much better quarterback, it'd be a different story in Chicago right now.
The last good tree was out of San Francisco, which your boy
Gruden. Gruden's from that tree.
Not Gruden's punk ass.
Yeah, Reed is from that tree.
The originator of all that, though.
Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh.
Yeah.
Bill Walsh's tree was the last good tree. Everybody else, that's like all them over from Cleveland, Belichick, and Parcells, man, that shit's dead. It's not working. So this whole tree, this tree, that, man, them trees can get cut up and burnt up. It's just not working.
Well, we will see. Let's switch gears to fantasy. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Here it is, bro. In the fantasy league, you're ranked number 8. You're 2 spots away from that coveted playoff spot. I'm currently ranked number 7. We have one more game this week. It's tonight. It's the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game, unless they move that again. But the problem is this. All right, Lamont lost, straight up. He has no more players. He has no points. He's going to lose.
He didn't lose. He got molested.
Right. But we need him to lose next week, too. We must have him lose next week. Tony has a team that just won't die. They are losing, but he's only down like 7 points, and he's got Claypool. He's got Claypool. That's more than a chance. So I think Tony's going to end up winning. You are currently winning. You're up by 7 on Ben, and he has Johnson.
Yeah.
You could actually win this game because I think that they're going to be concentrating. Ben Roethlisberger is going to try to get the ball to Claypool or Juju before he hits Johnson. So you could have a chance still. So we got some games that we're going to be looking at rather closely tonight. And if the Ravens can at least play any kind of defense and keep it a low-scoring game, both Ben can lose and Tony might still lose. You never know. So we're going to watch those closely. In the Pick'em League, things are shifting back again. You are holding steady the number 9 position right now. I am up to 5, but we got some crazy picks that we're going to have to make for this coming week.
Oh, so you done jumped over me.
Yeah, because I believe a bunch of y'all went with dang, I forget which team everybody went with and they end up losing. I want to say y'all picked Dallas to win on Thanksgiving or something like that.
It wasn't Dallas. It probably was like I think Minnesota won when they shouldn't have, and the Colts got hammered when they shouldn't have.
I went with Minnesota. So yeah, because wasn't that final 28-27 or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
like
might have been.
last second little situation.
Yeah, it might have been that one. But again, plenty of time in the picks league because I think there's only like 6 points that separates worst to like fifth, and then there's another 3 points between fifth and 10th. So
Mm.
that's 8 points separates you from being the number one person. Eight,
Everybody's still in the shooting range, basically.
yes. But we're
Okay.
running out of games. We're running out of games, so we gotta get with it. Make sure that you can't afford to lose more than 2 games each week. You just can't.
Yeah, that
So
is true. There's been
choose wisely, grasshopper.
there's been some upsets the past couple weeks, so shit happens.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. I want to talk to you about NBA real quick because you sent me that thing. I guess the Hall of Fame will be coming up in March, and it's the 13th through the 15th. Excuse me, May 13th through the 15th. I know it's Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant. I can't remember if they've done that before. 3 days? Have they done that before?
No, they being extra as hell.
I know Kobe's in there, but I
That's why
asked myself the same question though. Why? Why are you doing this?
you just answer your own question because who's in it?
Cobes.
He ain't
So,
that damn important. But again, since we lost him at the height of his retirement, since when did retirement have scales? When are we judging retirements?
all I'm
Come
gonna
on,
say is if MJ goes down for any reason, they better take a week off.
y'all didn't do this shit for Magic. He
He ain't
beat
dead
AIDS,
yet. He ain't dead yet.
but he beat AIDS. He didn't beat AIDS and Corona. Y'all ain't did that for him.
I'm wondering.
Y'all, when he went in, him and the Worm went in at the same time. If I'm not mistaken. Y'all ain't do shit for them like that. Like
Magic might survive a nuclear blast.
he probably could hold the rocket. Treat like 4th of July. It blow up and he be looking around like where everybody go.
Oh, so he won't be like JPP.
Three
I'm
Finger Sally? No.
I'm sorry, Tampa fans. I had to do that.
Nah. Nah, when he tried to get that sack, he missed him by a finger.
Damn. All right. Well, I guess we got 3 days of Hall of Fame activities to look forward to. I wonder what they're gonna do for 3 days.
They told
So
JP to knuckle up. He said he ain't got enough knuckles.
just wrong. Okay, so this one's one you sent me on IG. A group of women were asked to leave a restaurant. Was it in Georgia?
Atlanta.
Yeah, okay.
ATL shot it.
Yeah, they were dancing on the furniture, and there was some twerking action going on. I saw the video. I heard what the owner had to say. He had some strong words for him. Like I told you yesterday, perhaps he shouldn't have dropped the F-bomb in there, but at the same time,
They wrong.
I agree with him 100%. I agree with him 100%. And at some point in business, I don't care what business it is, the customer's not always right. What do you think about that?
I mean, you're right. The customer ain't always right. This is what I will say though, on behalf of the chicks. If you have a DJ there, you're opening Pandora's box to DJ related activities. That just happens.
Yeah.
Here, there's 2 daiquiri shops here. There's one right off of Vine, of 18th and Vine or whatever, 30, whatever the fuck it's just called, 13th and Vine, 18th, whatever it is. Then there's another one off Power and Light where Kudos used to be. The one on Vine has a DJ. So I've seen videos where motherfuckers are standing up twerking on the table, all that, females wilding.
Yeah.
Now the one, and they tried to clean it up by having 103 come down there and broadcast live on certain days, and it'd be clean. But then when 103 go off the air, Brian B do his thing, and it gets a little wild in there. So it's just you got a DJ, certain things are gonna happen. Nothing you can do to avoid that. You got to know that. Now, as far as the owner, he could have came more diplomatic, and he did at first. But if I'm talking to you, hey, sir, could you please, ma'am, would you mind? And you basically giving me a fuck you and you ain't moving, then you gonna get irate. You about to get the hood me. Hey, motherfucker, I didn't ask you once. I'm gonna need you to get the fuck up and get out of my establishment right now, or I have you fucked up. That's what you go get if you ignore. That's what they got. That's what they earn. That's what they deserve. Get the fuck out. Now, I recently just read his dress code. His dress code is something of if you're going to the club. No slides, no do-rags, no ball caps is on the third. So I don't know what I want to say before he must have been doing like a live brunch or something where it was like kicking it, and people know that it's him doing this, and he wants to kill what the other establishment must have been because his thing's too detailed for it to not have been a club before or something. So I'm just not really understanding what's going on. But I will say though, he had all right to do what he did. He really did.
I have no problem with it.
But he did say that he went and talked to him later, one-on-one, and was like, one of the reasons why he had to tell him to go was because his insurance, dancing on glass. Now you just making up an excuse trying to save face. Fuck them. Like you said, fuck their money. Fuck them. Keep that same energy. Don't backpedal off that. They little $30, $40 ain't gonna break you. That restaurant was packed. So clearly the food is good and the ambiance is nice. Fuck them, get out, get rid of the DJ. Just have a little jazz band in there and go from there.
All right, all right. So also today, I think it was Sunday, you sent me something. Obama put it in his book that Michelle didn't want him to run for office of any kind, especially not president, and said to him, I worked on keeping our lives clean, a mess, being in politics. It's nothing but mess involved. So the question that you wanted to bring to the table is, can you be with someone who may or may not support your dreams? So I'm gonna answer first here because this is a sticky situation. It, it's really a yes or no thing. Me personally, my goals, my aspirations. I'm into film. I'm heavily into entertainment. Um, that part of me says no because there are long hours involved in doing what I got to do. There's things that I've got to take care of. There's times when I'm not gonna be home because I'm doing this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to have somebody that's in your corner that knows that you doing what you want to do and you doing it your way. And I firmly believe that no matter what it is you want to do, you've got to have that ability about you. And I love it when people, get out there and they tackle something and they do it their way. There are people, however, that I don't want to say neglect the system or they don't handle business right. And because of a few bad apples, that does ruin it for the whole bunch. So there are people that would say, no, I don't believe that can happen because I need somebody who's either with me or if you're not, you're against me. So it's not going to work. And then there are people that'll say it can still work because I'm still going to be out there doing what I need to do, whether that other person agrees or not. to me, I think that would cause a bigger strain on the relationship than, somebody who is supportive. Not saying that it would just be a deal breaker, but I feel like i- there's give and take in any relationship.
Uh-huh.
And even if you don't like what somebody's doing, obviously you with them, you know what they about. So just like Michelle, apparently she said it, but she stood by him the whole way. So she wasn't 100% uh, against it. She buckled down. She did what she had to do, and she did it well, and it worked
Well,
out.
the thing is, you don't have to be 100% one way. You just have to convince me to go the other way. And Barack had to have sold her on what was what. Because if he hadn't, she would have never cooperated. So he sold her on everything, and his team, I'm sure, helped. Like with you being married, met the wife, she's lovely. Y'all ain't always agreed on everything. You've had to sell her on some things to do some things right or wrong.
Right.
That's a part of it. To, and the thing is, for me, I'm a 9 to 5 person. It's hard to be married to a dreamer. I did it for 11 and a half years. It was hard, but the thing is, it wasn't even the full 11 and a half years. It started about, I say maybe 7 years. It was being married to a dreamer. But I'm the one that lit the fire. Seeing how everybody's asking about different things, I was like, hey, why don't you do your own, why don't you do this for a living? Why don't you do this on the side hustle as a wedding planner? Then what happens? KME's born. Helped her put that together, the logo, all that type stuff. Although you're here otherwise, but it's a whole nother story. But I was there on the couch, helped her with everything. I lit that fire. Now, as we fast track that, I'm a worker. You know me, 9 to 5, part time, weekend, overnight, getting it in. Next thing I know, she looks at me. You should consider being a DJ. Why? That's what need to be. You love music, yeah, be a DJ. But I'm not a thinker. I'm not a dreamer. I'm like, DJ ain't no 9 to 5. If I ain't on the radio, where I'm gonna get money from? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Next thing I know, I end up liking it to where I'm still doing it to this day, but at the same time, my 9 to 5 come first. So it's like I'm still a 9 to 5 person, I'm not a dreamer. And when you're married to a dreamer, you have to recognize it and ask yourself, do I want to do this ride or do I need to get off now? Because there's going to be some go beyond the limit moments that you either got to swallow or you're going to be fighting about. Plain and simple.
Hey, now that brings up something interesting because when we both agree that it's a lot of give and take. It's give and take on both sides because if you are the one that's the dreamer, here's the thing that you got to do in the relationship. If this other person is willing to let you be you and do your thing, you got to step up to the plate and really try. Because I know a lot of people that they say they have goals and aspirations, but they ain't doing nothing about it. And that is also detrimental to a relationship. And that in some cases makes it way worse.
And that's the one thing that I'm gonna say this, and it's not meant to be any malicious way or anything. I think on my side of it, she made the comment she wanted to work for herself by the age of 40. Okay, let's sit down, let's figure it out. Let's see what you have to bring in to stay so we stay afloat as far as what you do. We never had that talk. Because I don't think it was in the mindset of I want that pressure on me. I rather what I do be bonus versus what's needed. And that's the one thing with dreamers. You can dream, but at some point that dream got to be concrete as far as what comes to the table. You can't keep coming to the table with a dream 4, 5, 7 years in. At some point it has to be concrete to where your 9 to 5 is cool and content and don't feel stress of, well, now I gotta figure out how to cover your end because you're still dreaming. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I feel you 100%. And that's why each case is a lot different. Like,
Yeah,
let's take
definitely.
President Obama. All right, in order to fulfill his dream to become president, all right, he had to do, city council or wherever he started. He campaigns for a higher position as a senator or whatever came next. Then he campaigns to become president. He's busting his butt out there doing on the campaign trail each and every step. So he's doing what it takes. Conversely, if I say, I'll just use me as the other example. If I say, hey, I want to be in the entertainment industry, if I'm not out here trying to do podcasts, if I'm not out here trying to do photography, make short films and everything, get my name out there, and I'm just, talking about doing this, that, and the other, but I'm not putting in the work, then just plain and simple, if you don't put in the work, it's not gonna work, and that's the difference. So it is give and take. You have to have somebody who's willing to put in the work, and you have to have somebody who's willing to put up with those lean times when in your mind, you can tell that significant other, hey,
Mhm.
I think you should try this, but you stick with them and you stick with their dreams, and one of two things will happen. It'll become a reality, and they're happy that you stuck with them, and y'all more the better for it. Or if it doesn't become a reality, let that person who's attempting that dream, let them be the ones to say, okay, it's not going to work, and let them fall back. Whatever you do, you don't want to break somebody down because they're trying to do something. It doesn't matter, again, what they're trying to do. You
Man,
never
just
want to break somebody down.
hella random. 'Cause I know you said you're working on your schedule for your track meet. Your not your track meet, but you're running this. Your running schedule.
Yeah.
I need to know the dates when you're going to be in town for more than one day.
Okay.
That way, one, we can do a live one together, and two, it's time to re up on freaking frack pictures.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
That,
definitely do that.
or
Yeah.
help your portfolio, put something in your pocket, and I have updated pictures of them.
Yeah, it don't even matter. Even if I'm in town for just one day, we can still do all that because my average runs 30 minutes to an hour, and then we out. Come across my finish line, get my medal, give me my T-shirt, take a few pictures, then I'm going to go eat somewhere. My schedule's
Yeah,
pretty wide open, and
next time we'll link up for lunch, and then after that, um, you know, we'll knock them out, and then just whatever.
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Um, that sounds real good. Depending on COVID, maybe we'll
Of course,
see.
yeah.
Maybe I'm saying maybe we'll see if we can, have a live audience at said events. If we know far enough in advance, we'll tell, most of our friends, hey, come on out to such and such. We're going to tape live.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
so,
We'll
so,
see.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I like that. I like that. We'll see what's going on with that.
yeah. Um, I usually start to get the scheduling in December, and probably late December, early January is when I'll know the entire racing schedule.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt it if it got pushed back a little bit because there are still some run organizations that are a little apprehensive because of COVID, and that's why we ended up cutting some off the schedule last year. I will say this: toward the end of the year, some stuff did end up going through because the city, each city that I raced in, they handled it a lot differently. For example, in Wichita, they did staggered starts for races so there were less people out there, and then a lot of other cities limited the number of spectators so you can limit the number of people. And
Okay.
the good thing about running is 9 times out of 10, that person doesn't have COVID because if you're having trouble breathing, what are you doing trying to run?
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, so just keep me posted. When you mentioned photography, I was like, need to get some new pictures of them. And I might actually get in one or two this time. So
I was going to say you need to get in there with them.
yeah, yeah, because definitely different from last time. The ignorance that I had. All right, what's next? What's next?
That's all I got actually. Do
Okay.
you have anything else?
Trying to think. Do I? I don't think I do. We might actually just have a short one this week.
Oh,
Um,
we still at an hour, so we good.
yeah.
We're
So
at like 102, but I think we started a few seconds into it, but we're good.
yeah, not we don't have that. Oh, okay. This is what I was gonna say. One, Mahomes' shoes with Adidas are ugly. I sent them to you and I put them on Facebook. Everybody agrees they ugly as fuck.
I saw that. I saw Chiefs fans saying they were ugly, so it's like, okay, they're not all blindly just loving them because they're Mahomes shoes. They still got
That's
sense.
what I told people. When was the last time Adidas bought a pair of shoes? You'd be like, oh my God. Outside of AI or McGrady's, they haven't. Dame, I got a pair of Dame Dollar. His is cool, but they ain't been like, oh my God. So it happens. What I was going to talk about NFL. I said this to you. We somewhat went over it. Do we need to start considering taking 2-3 weeks off? Because this week's been a disaster.
I'm gonna say no, and here's the reason why. What's that saying about idle time or idle hands? Just because you take another week off doesn't mean that it's gonna go away.
Hmm,
Because people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and if you
true,
give them extra time, they gonna think they have extra time to do it.
true.
Now, I hope they don't end up cutting the season short, but and you know how I feel about the NFL rescheduling games, since one person might
Yeah,
have COVID.
there we go.
Yet I have an entire defensive line that got put on the list and they didn't even blink.
Didn't blink because no one cared.
I know they did care. They
No
did.
one wanted, hey, it's like this. You only want to see certain teams in prime time. And when I looked at the list, I didn't see Vegas on there. Ain't nothing I can do
Bro,
about
what are you
that.
talking about? We played y'all in prime time.
Because who did you play?
Oh, see, you like that, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You
Well,
played us in prime time. I guarantee if y'all didn't have the new stadium, you'd have played us in prime time in Arrowhead. But they wanted people to see the new empty stadium to get used to it, and you was playing us. That's why you're
hey,
on prime
no,
time.
don't make fun of my squad because the stadium was empty. There's a difference between us and the Rams. We actually have fans.
Yeah, I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying when it comes to us being there, it'll be more of us than it'll be you there. Because as I've seen on several snaps, IG, FB lives, we was wrapped around that stadium thicker than K-Roll syrup. You'd have thought you was in Kansas City, or at least Wichita wanted it to. It was so thick.
That's what the media wants you to believe, because I believe when we whipped y'all in Arrowhead, I saw a lot of people wearing black, and I'm like,
Hey,
did
that
we
wasn't
have that
media.
many
That
people
was a bunch
there?
of niggas that went to Vegas on a free trip. They took them cheap ass plane tickets.
I'm
Yeah.
just glad we're back to the old days of NFL. You beat us, we beat you, and it just happens to miraculously be at each other's stadium.
Oh, it's not going to continue being like that. It's not going to happen.
You're right, because
That
y'all
was,
on the
that
downhill slope.
was, that was a one-off type thing.
Y'all on
Until
the
next.
downhill slope, because Brett Veach is not going to be able to find more than $1.50 next year in the salary cap to get some more people to stay.
Unlike Elway, he believes in consistency. Think that if you want to.
Man, Elway, he's considered one of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time, and he can't even find a quarterback to play for him. That's sad.
Just because hey, has Michael Jordan ever been able to determine talent?
Oh, damn. Oh, right in the gut. You talking about the GOAT. He's still, yeah, you're right.
And I got something for you before we end this. Word has it, LeBron has agreed to 2 years, $85 million with the Lakers.
Wow. So they can't
He'll
send
be
him
under
back to Cleveland.
contract. He was under contract for another 3 years, but basically he shortened it to where 2023 will be his last year. And they upped his money basically. But doing this helps them sign Davis.
So that's his game. Okay. Because he knows he can't win without Davis.
Yeah, I think in the long run, that's what it's going to end up being. Now, here's my hell nah for you. So, listening to Knuckleheads, the Darius Miles, Quentin Richardson podcast.
Yeah.
They have my dog on there. And I ain't seen him in a good minute on anything. They have my dog, Sean Kemp, on there, the Rain Man himself. First off, Rain Man gave a nugget, said why he loves Seattle. He said Seattle showed him how to be a millionaire off the court before he became a millionaire on the court. Mind blown. Mind blown for him to say that. But here's where you being a Bulls fan want to know how you feel about this. He said in his draft, Bulls had 3 chances to snatch him and didn't do it. They took Stacey King, B.J. Armstrong, and somebody else over him.
I feel good about that because BJ helped us win championships.
Stacey King, apparently, before they met in the finals in the third, say 2-3 years prior, there was a deal. This must have been when Mike was gone. A deal in place with your boy Crouch. Good old Jerry Krause that was GM, right?
Yeah.
Sean Kemp to the Bulls for Scottie Pippen.
Okay. Now that changes things because, you know, the previous question, you had Michael and Scottie already.
Yeah.
There was no room for Sean Kemp. But now you're replacing Sean Kemp with Scottie Pippen. It still works. I like that. Kind of like how we replaced Horace Grant with Dennis Rodman.
That's the thing, though. If you get Kemp, you don't get Rodman because Kemp plays power forward.
I thought Kemp was a small forward.
No, Kemp was a power forward. He's like 6'11".
I never knew he was that tall.
Like 6'9", 6'11", somewhere in there. He probably could take the 3 if you needed him to.
Yeah, because he played like it.
Yeah, because remember, he dominated when he played for Cleveland. I think that was so. That hasn't been done when Mike was gone. I don't think Mike would have allowed that if he was there.
Yeah, man.
You don't even know what to say about that, do you?
It's tricky. Offensively, I know it would have worked, but I'm worried that defensively, it may not have worked as well.
I don't think it will work now because the small forward is like a point or a shooting guard. Back then, most small forwards was barely shooting 3-pointers, and they was mid-range shooters. So it would work, and he'd be him and Dennis on the glass backing up the center. I feel bad for any center.
Yeah.
Because if they had him, then the Bulls would beat Olajuwon. You know, everybody saying Olajuwon had a field day with every Bulls in Houston. If they had him on the team, he's backing up whatever center, killing it. He killing that glass for whoever.
Yeah, we wasn't worried about Olajuwon because we would beat O'Neal when he was playing for the Magic. So I ain't worried about Olajuwon.
So I thought that was interesting. But the thing about it, though, I think, and it's my opinion, if they'd have made that trade, you'd maybe have gotten 2 out of the 3, but the team would have came back and I think got 2 or 3 more. So I think the Bulls would have increased their rings by 2 at least if they'd have did that.
It is possible.
Yes.
That was mind-blowing. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this on up here.
Let me know that I like how you got your logo in the background. I like that.
You know what that is? That is 12 pieces of paper, each with a different piece of the logo, and I just put them together. That way I'd have something up there in the background. I'm waiting on my flag to come in.
I like that. Look better than that other shit you had.
Well, that's what the flag design is going to look like there.
What flag? What?
I will send you the information. I found a company that makes flags.
Do they do like table skirts?
I will find out.
Okay, cool.
Because I think it's just a different dimension, but they ought to be able to do it.
I need to figure it out. I need one, whenever I get back out there. All right, well, ladies and gents, we out of here. As usual, I had to educate Richard because he didn't know shit. You know, Chief fans are always helping everybody. That's what we do. If it wasn't for us, the world wouldn't be the better place that it is. So have a good one. Richard, don't work too hard the rest of the day. I get to have fun. At the dentist's office in like an hour. Yay. We'll see y'all next week. You got anything for us, Richard, before we go? Okay, yeah, nothing. Later, as always, in the home of the Chiefs. Holler at your boy. Just don't yell.
These people are still high off of winning their second championship in 50 years. All right, everybody, stay positive, stay blessed.
Hey,
We'll see you
Bird
again
don't
next
care
week.
how often he has sex, as long as he has sex.
Later, everybody.